He created one of the most recognizable characters in the world and named him Mortimer Mouse. But his wife suggested the name under which each of us knows the character, Mickey Mouse. Welcome to Personality Matters. I'm Arthur Camps and today we'll be talking about Walt Disney. Walt Disney was born on December 5, 1901 in Chicago. He was the fourth son among 5 siblings. The family was far from being wealthy. His father tried hard to make ends meet, but with no success. It was at an early age that Disney started drawing and developed an interest in art. When the USA entered the First World War, Disney decided to stop school and enlist in the army. For that, he even had to lie about his age. So he participated in the war as an ambulance driver for the American Red Cross in France and Germany. When the war was over, Disney got back home and joined efforts with his brother to launch a cartoon business. But the business went bankrupt a couple of years later. Well, Disney packed his bags and moved down to Los Angeles to try his luck at acting. But given that not much came out of that, he soon returned to the cartoon business. In California, there were not many animation studios at that time, so he set up one on his own. And not so long after, he created his first successful character, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Unlike his character, Disney was not that lucky. He came to New York to discuss the renewal of his contract, but what he found out was that he no longer had any legal rights on it, as it had been appropriated by his producer Charles Mintz. To add insult to injury, Mintz had also been working backdoor deals to lure all Disney's animators. Basically, Disney was left with nothing. That was a bitter lesson to learn, but Disney didn't do anything to contest his claim to the character and get back the control over it. Instead, he did what maybe some of us should do more often. He started all over again. He got on the train to California, took a pen and paper and created Mickey Mouse. These days, it's hard to believe that the legendary Mickey Mouse was not an immediate success. In fact, bankers and investors were not swift to finance the project. They were not really into the concept of the mouse, so they rejected Mickey Mouse 300 times before one said yes. Can you imagine the perseverance of the man Walt Disney? So the project was launched and Mickey Mouse caught on with the audience. But Disney was still confronted with multiple problems: debts, a tense relationship with his employer, and also he was totally exhausted. Eventually, all the piled up tension resulted in a nervous breakdown. But Disney took a rest, relaxed, and came back with a fresh idea to create full-length animation feature movie Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Needless to say, it was a huge success. After that, Disney made other hits like Pinocchio, Bambi, Cinderella, and created many other characters that became a big part of childhood life for many generations afterward. After the Second World War, his company was slow to rebuild. In addition to that, it was burdened with financial problems. So, to boost the growth of his business, Disney sought to diversify the strategy and launched a couple of TV shows like The Mickey Mouse Club and Davy Crockett. In spite of the initial skepticism, the strategy worked well. The shows got really popular, which helped Disney recover his business and opened up for him an opportunity to work on his new ambitious project, Disneyland. Over the years, Disney cherished the idea of building an amusement park. He wanted the park to be not only entertaining but also educational for both children and parents. And finally, he fulfilled his dream. In 1955, he created Disneyland. But the launch of Disneyland almost turned into a disaster. Thousands of invitations were falsified and lots of uninvited people turned up in the park on an opening day. With the temperature soaring up to 100 degrees, the new asphalt was melting women's high heels, drinking fountains didn't work, and some of the rides malfunctioned. So, like many of other Disney's projects, Disneyland was off to a bad start, but eventually it became a huge success and an integral part of his business empire. Among his many achievements, Disney holds the absolute record of Oscars. His collection includes 23 statues. There is no other director producer, just anyone who got even close to Walt Disney. Disney was a caring father who personally drove his daughters to school every morning. Even though he had a number of stuff at his disposal, he liked to do it himself. Disney made his housekeeper a multimillionaire. Once, as a part of her annual Christmas gift, he gave her a stock in the company. She didn't do anything with the stock for many years, and by the time she died, the stock cost $4.5 million. Well, it just shows once again the magic power of compound interest. All the money, by the way, was given to poor and disabled children. Walt Disney is a perfect example of the person who knows how to get over a failure. He is a bold believer who fulfilled his most ambitious ideas and dreams. Walt Disney is the creator of amazing characters like Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Pluto, who make us smile and laugh. As he said it once, "If you can dream it, you can do it. Always remember that this whole thing was started with the dream and the mouse." Thank you for watching Personality Matters. We talk about people who made the world. Until next time, I am Arthur Camps.